Hello and welcome to the channel. Friends tell each other the truth. Isn't that the saying? Well, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, here's a friendly advice for you. Not just for the sake of the people you lead, but for yours as well. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Friendly advice to Tinubu, stumbling as president. Friends speak the truth to each other. Good friends speak the bitter truth. Israel's President Herzog, in address to the U.S. Congress, July 19, 2023. Herzog stunned the U.S. Congress, the National Assembly, by confessing that his country is now practicing the same appetite for which South African whites were globally condemned in the last century. American elected officials who had gathered expecting another denunciation of Palestinians as arrests were shocked into silence. That took courage. Nigeria needs that sort of courage from anybody seeking to advise you on how to run your government if the courts give you the go-ahead. But you should be full of prayers. Pray for your victory in court. Otherwise, any decision calling for a national runoff election will mean the end of your presidency. Not because most of the voters actually believe that whoever emerges will save Nigerians from facing the harsh consequences of corrupt management of the presidential form of government since 1999, but because you are the one left holding the bag. You are the one now administering the more painful therapy, which your cowardly predecessors avoided in bids to win the next election. I have one definition of corruption, which is in a book that will soon be published. Corruption in this context is disloyalty to purposes for which an institution was set up. Emeritus Professor Edward B. Otter, OON. Professor Otter is the senior brother of Obong Victor Otter, a former governor of Akwa Ibom State and a human library. No matter how much you read, you will find your march in Professor. And with the memory of an elephant, he remembers everything, not just pathology. 6 planned interviews have left me feeling badly educated. He is one of 3 Nigerians who induced that feeling each and every time we met. Professor, pathologist, has played a major role in our national life. He participated in the autopsy of the late Chief MKO Abiola to determine the cause of death of the generally accepted winner of the June 12, 1993 election. But he had given us a working definition of official corruption which we can adopt to examine the conduct of our leaders, presidents, governors, senators, representatives, ministers, governors of central bank, justices, etc. All these officials represent institutions which were created by statutes, constitution, laws, precedents, and conventions. Invariably, they have been established in order for the every transient occupant of the position to serve the national interest. They were not created for a president to refuse to do the right thing. If it means that his political party will lose the next election, that is sabotage bordering on treason. Since 1999, we have experienced a series of economic policies and programs embarked upon by all the governments which were anchored on payment of fuel subsidy. Even when Obasanjo, Yaradua, Jonathan and Buhari knew it was not in the national interest to continue the unsustainable and, ultimately, ruinous policy, no army of foreign invaders could have worked for so long to wreck the Nigerian economy as the presidents before you had done. Follow me down very recent history. A secret is best kept if it is between 2 people with 1 dead. Anonymous American satirist. We can't forgive the American humorist for this statement. He was living in a more decent society than our own. Nigeria is the only country known to me where more than 8 heads of state, military and civilian, have ruled, paid more in fuel subsidy than most of our national debt, and the people have never been told who were the recipients of the trillions of naira that had been paid out. President Tinubu, if you are ever going to rescue your government and yourself, the first thing you should ask for is an annual list of those who collected the funds paid out for subsidy. how much they supplied, when, and why. Fuel subsidy payment accounts for a great deal of debt you have inherited from Buhari, which you will spend the next 4 years trying to repay. Before you assume responsibility for repayment of the debts incurred, find out how much of fuel subsidy payments were justified. You will be shocked to know how many trillions were pure authority stealing, approved by all your predecessors, to be paid. Garba Shehu, Buhari's senior special advisor on media, recently gave a hint of how deliberate the Buhari-era scam was. According to him, Buhari postponed subsidy removal because there was an election coming, and the All Progressives Congress APC would have lost if the right thing had been done. Economic sabotage and corruption of governance by a president could not have been more openly admitted. The presidency is an institution, and its occupant is elected to work in the national interest, not in party interest. The long delay by Buhari in ending subsidy allowed members of the cabal in his Aso Rock to clean up on fuel subsidy. Buhari was never interested in you as a successor. You forced your way into the presidency. The man remains Fulani, Muslim, and hegemonic till today. You have not only inherited the disasters left by Buhari and former Senate President Lawan, you alone will now face the horrors of the national storm now building up. You are also the victim of all those erudite columnists urging you to hit the ground running. Well, you hit the ground, took 3 strong steps: fuel subsidy removal, exchange rate unification, and university students' loan bill signed. There was applause, but it was brief. Now, you have stumbled very badly, and a fall might occur unless you can take 4 urgent corrective measures. They will not totally erase the hostility which has been directed at you, even by people who voted enthusiastically for you, but they will distribute the burden of antagonism to others deserving them. First, develop revenue-generating ideas and pursue them immediately. You can still improve unexpected revenue for the last 4 months by as much as 0.5 trillion naira if you want. Thereafter, your 2024 budget should emphasize revenue generation, not deficit spending and more borrowing. In 2024, you should almost double Buhari's best record again if you want. Second, publish the names of the subsidy recipients and invite them to justify the funds collected in an open probe. Third, institute a deep probe into the Social Investment Program (SIP), the cash transfers and school feeding during Koro pandemic, the 52 billion naira allegedly paid to youths by the Ministry of Labor, and, finally, institute an inquiry into the assets forfeited to the federal government through the EFCC and how they were disposed of by Mr. Abubakar Malami, the former Attorney General of the Federation. Believe me, more than 5 trillion naira is waiting for you to be collected. Fourth, address Nigerians. Tell them the truth about the past 24 years. Let them know that you are not responsible for their woes. Then plead for time. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye.